Avengers!
Hey everyone, I'm the Canadian Lad, and today's video is about two new details that I found while watching Avengers Endgame probably for a billionth time. Before I talk about the details, let me set the stage for you. Professor Hulk snapped using the Nano Gauntlet. Thanos also came close to snapping again using the same damaged gauntlet. But at the end, it was Iron Man who grabbed all the stones and snapped his fingers. But the point to be noted here is that Iron Man did not use the Nano Gauntlet, but his own suit to harness the power of all 6 Infinity Stones. Now that the stage is set for you, I can tell you the details that I found and explain them throughout the video. Detail number 1. The Nano Gauntlet couldn't have been used a second time by anybody else but Thanos. Detail number 2. Tony Stark's entire Mark 85 suit worked as a massive Infinity Gauntlet, not just the arm but the entire suit itself. These two details that I found will answer two of the most asked questions about Endgame. Question 1. Why didn't Captain Marvel use the gauntlet herself instead of Tony Stark? Tony would have survived if Captain Marvel had taken it upon herself. Question 2. How come Tony Stark wasn't struggling while wielding all 6 Infinity Stones, whereas it almost killed Professor Hulk? These two are totally valid questions, so without wasting any more time, let's jump straight to the point. Detail 1. The Nano Gauntlet couldn't have been used a second time by anybody else but Thanos. What I mean by this, try noticing how much damage the Nano Gauntlet took after the first snap. It wasn't entirely destroyed, but it got damaged pretty well. When this gauntlet was in perfectly new shape, it still couldn't contain the stones like the one that it remade. Here's a side-by-side comparison of the two gauntlets where we can see how much more durable the Infinity Gauntlet is. Even after taking the toll of 2 full snaps, it still looks similar to the Nano Gauntlet, which only took 1 snap. Now imagine how much more worse the Nano Gauntlet would have looked had Thanos been successful. The point is, Tony's gauntlet probably cannot take more than 1 snap. The second snap would totally perish the gauntlet and the one who is wearing it, and that's why Thanos was the only capable being of using this gauntlet for snapping a second time. He is the only one who can take the full force of the Infinity Stones even when the gauntlet isn't that durable. Let me simplify this even more. Let's assume the durability of the Nano Gauntlet is at 4 bars before snapping, so it gets down to 1 bar after the first snap takes place. And had Thanos been successful in his mission, the Nano Gauntlet would have 0 durability left, resulting in the demise of the user. So even if Professor Hulk were to snap once again wearing the same gauntlet, this time it wouldn't just burn his arms, it would kill him entirely. Tony's gauntlet just isn't ready for a second snap unless you're Thanos, because Thanos is way too powerful and only he possesses the power of taking the force of all 6 Infinity Stones without having to need a weapon. So if Captain Marvel or Thor had used the gauntlet, it would have eventually killed them no matter how powerful they are. And because the gauntlet's durability was completely compromised, Captain Marvel probably would have died just after wearing it. And the reason I say this is because we've seen how Hulk was struggling to cope up with the Infinity Stones after putting on the gauntlet in his hand. He was struggling with a gauntlet that had full durability, so imagine how much more one would suffer if they used this glove with little to no durability at all. So any regular beings would die even before snapping just by wearing it. And that's my point, because Thanos is physically much more stronger than a lot of Avengers put together, so only he was the worthy one to wield this gauntlet and use it a second time. Coming to my second detail, Tony Stark's entire Mark 85 suit worked as a massive Infinity Gauntlet. Now you may ask, on what basis am I deriving this claim? And here's my answer. When Professor Hulk snapped, only the right side of his upper body got damaged. His right arm, the right side of his neck, and the right shoulder. However, his left side was completely unharmed. But notice, in case of Tony Stark, after he snapped his fingers, even the left side of his suit got damaged, and his entire chest piece was also burned. Why do you think that happened? If all the stones are in the right hand of Tony, then shouldn't only his right side be impacted? Why did the center and the left side of his suit get burned as well? Here is an after-before comparison of Hulk. Notice the left side of his body is totally untouched. Now let's take a look at an after-before comparison of Tony Stark. In the before version, his suit wasn't burned in the middle, neither in the left side, but after wielding all the Infinity Stones, his suit started taking damage, and the damage wasn't only on his right arm or the right side of his body, it made an impact on the entire suit, and that proves that Tony's Mark 85 was working collectively as one giant gauntlet, not just the right arm of the suit. This detail also answers why Tony Stark was able to withstand withstand the stones far better than Professor Hulk, because Professor Hulk only had one glove in his right hand and that's it. But in case of Tony, his entire suit was working as one full gauntlet. Bottom line is, Tony Stark was able to take the energy of the stones far better than Professor Hulk because of Mark 85, and Professor Hulk was able to take the snap far better on his body because physically he's stronger than Tony Stark. So one took the stones better and the other handled the snap better. Nevertheless, these subtle details from Avengers Endgame are truly amazing and makes me love this movie even more. And if you share the same opinion as me, then do give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to grab the subscribe button and turn notifications on, and follow me on Instagram because I have more of these videos coming very soon. I'm Kevin Hart and I'll see you lads in the next one.
Assemble.